Paul Menta is going to chef you.
All right, here we are. We are going to make one of my wife's favorite dishes. We're going to do a sweet and old sour chicken. So let's get chopping. So generally you don't have to chop your thing in half. I just like to have fun. These are chicken thighs, $9.73. This will feed up to 4 people. What you're going to want to do is just cut them down into pieces. When you're cutting it, you don't have to be perfect. We want to look for pieces of fat. Fat is not always bad. We don't want is gristle, like little pieces like that right there. Okay, so now it's time to get cooking. I prefer, for this type of dish, to use a deeper pan, or sometimes people call it a wok, whatever you want to call it. So the first thing we're going to start to do is I've started preheating the pan. On the outside, I'm going to add some nice olive oil. All right, so dump the chicken in. No, we're going to lay the chicken in piece by piece around the bowl. We want the chicken to cook evenly. This chicken's not going to take a ton of time to cook, but we want to make sure that we're getting it all to cook evenly because we're talking a lot of pieces here. You'll find you'll have to adjust your heat sometimes. You can turn the flame down a little bit. We'll get all this chicken laid out and about. Don't be afraid to use the sides. So now what we want to do is let this start to cook on one side until we can see some coloration in the chicken. And it starts to turn like a pale yellow color. Now, if you look inside of here, you will see we're starting to get some color change. The sides a little less than the center. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start to flip it over. I had it on a medium heat. Now I've kind of cranked it up a little bit because now I want to get into the finishing of it. Kind of seared one side, and I know what you're saying. You haven't put any seasoning, you put no salt or anything like that. I don't want any of that in there because when you put seasonings in here, it'll start to reduce and get really strong, and it can change the whole flavor of your dish. So have a little patience, let your chicken get to a point where it's just starting to cook and it looks like this. All right, time to season. This is some Key West sea salt. So I just want to sprinkle this salt around. The next thing we're going to use is a buddy of mine, Stale Cracker. He'll be all happy because it's Cajun Trinity. This is an incredible way to make tons of different things flavorful. In this dish, you don't have to be afraid to get carried away because this is basically like putting vegetables in here. So now we're going to mix it up, get some of these flavors moving around so they mix up together. I like to do that because I can smell all the spices in there. And next, for our sweet, we're gonna add some honey. My wife loves Manuka honey. What my wife wants, my wife gets. So we're gonna do 2 complete turns, and we wanna see it bubbling. I wanna get all the flavor off the bottom of the pan. A lot of times you hear chefs or cooks say deglazing. I call it using rum. I'm going to use a key lime rum. I'm not going to go crazy. If your bottle is full, less than half, shut the fire off. The fire can suck up into the bottle and blow the bottle off. 2 times around. Take a look inside of here now. Look what I got. Look at that nice color. Now comes my favorite part. My favorite part is Key West Old Sour, where you can buy anywhere. No. Hey, listen, I make Key West Old Sour. It is my favorite condiment to use, but you can cook with it. The longer you let it cook, the spicier it will get. White pepper spicy. Go around again 2 times, and then I'm gonna give it a taste. This is made from key limes, sea salt, and bird peppers. Now take a look inside of this pan. Look at the bottom here. It's almost like a gravy going on down there. Heat goes off, pan goes on. Let it sit there 5-10 minutes, just like that. It's still cooking. Let's get our plate prepared. Gonna do a little salad with some tomatoes and get all that ready so we can get this on the plate and we can get eating. And we're back at Paul's Antiques. Let's set our plate up. We have some baby arugula here. Next, we're gonna take our tomatoes. So now we're all set up. Just gonna get a little bit of olive oil just to moisten the outside. I don't know about you, but I like a little sea salt on my tomatoes. All right, our pan on the table. Let's open it up and see what we got. All right, so let's get a little bit of this on our plate. One nice serving. I'm gonna hold it back and get a little bit of that gravy. Sweet and old salad. It's happening.